Ball sent Maximan into the box, but he's not got shooting room. Has to lay it off to Target. Target takes a touch, fires it towards Chris Wood. It's over his head, and it's cleared away by Wolves. Good work from Dan Burn in defence. As Shah takes it, it's a very risky pass into John Joe Shelby, but he gets it back over the top to Shah. What a ball that is to Almiron. He turns inside, chance to shoot. Almiron goes for goal. It doesn't sit right for him, and he lofts it over the bar. I think the only way he could have really guaranteed himself more chance to get it on target, Harry, is if he waits longer. If he waits longer, he's going to be tackled.
Yeah, it's a sticky situation. It's a really good chance at the end from Newcastle. I think 2 40-plus-yard passes, one after another, were absolutely pinpoint. The first one to Sam Maximan, but his first touch just let it a little bit too close to the byline to get a shot away. And the second time of asking, he tried to get it out and takes it down really nicely. Actually, I think it sat really well for him. His first touch was beautiful. Just unfortunately for him, Mark Howard was chasing down. He had to snatch at the spot. He had to try and get it away from him and doing so. He was still right. He was always travelling.
He's trying to get the ball back under his grasp, trying to look further down the line for an attacking option. He's not happy with the option he sees in front of him, but actually he's playing back as Molly flicks it over the top. It's good work from Silva. Johnny again. High boot acclaim from the Newcastle coaching staff against Fabio Silva. Bruno Lage stands still in disbelief as Matt Target stays down. And it seems to be a high boot. Whether there's any contact, I'm not sure, but lofted ball down the line. In fact, it's not a high boot. In fact, it was the arm in the face first, because I saw him put his leg in the air. I thought he kicked him in the side of the head, but there's very little in it. But again, linesman's 2 yards away.
Yeah, it's difficult. Slightly too back to him. So he puts his arm across him, trying to shoot him away from the ball. He catches it and stray elbow. So there's no intent. It's a free kick, but it's not.
Yeah, Sharp towards Wood from the free kick. It's cleared away by Wolves. Headed back away by Target towards St Maximan. Joe Linton is in a decent bit of space on the edge of the box, but St Maximan runs straight at the heart of the defence, lays it back to Target, gets it back again. St Maximan looking inside to Grimares. Grimares looking forward, trying to fizz the ball through. He's looking for Chris Wood. It gets blocked on its way through. The Wolves will now clear. It's a risky pass. Kraft to Grimares again. He's coming forward. He might even open up space to shot. He lays it inside to Almiron. Almiron tries to play it back. It's a beautiful flick. Grimares flicks it forward to Chris Wood. Takes a deflection. Chris Wood on the floor. Sweeps it home. And Newcastle half the lead. It's sensational from Bruno Grimares from start to finish. Never say die attitude, and his ball in eventually finds Chris Wood. Newcastle 1, Wolves 0.
Well, what a beautifully worked team goal that is. It went through nearly everybody on the field, and as it came through to Almiron, he does really well to. It looks like he's about to gear up to shoot, but then he just notices Bruno Grimares making the run outside him. I think he must have had a 6th sense. He had eyes in the back of his head as he just does a nice cute Koi turner and just flicks it through to Grimares, who's completely through a goal, and Grimares knocks it back through across the box. It's really nice. They get a little bit fortunate with the deflection into Chris Wood, as we just see replays now. It might be going to VAR and given offside, as Grimares would look like he may have been an inch or so across the line. So, yeah, as we see Grimares will be the man who is offside if it is allowed.
Is Johnny not playing him on? They're saying not, so it looks like, you say, Harry, possible offside check is going to go their way, although they have played it through and gone back to the goal hitting the back of the net. So now I'm confused. The line suggested he was offside, Bruno Grimares, and Chris Wood tap in. Could well be denied. The VAR officials that decide this, and they have decided it offside, so we've gone past the halfway point. The drama is over. It is 0-0. It'll be Harry Jones to take you through to half-time.
They did get slightly fortunate. There was a couple of rebounds between Connor Cody and Willie Bolly, as Chris Wood in the end. We spoke about him earlier being the fox in the box. He'll finish his chance to be in the right area. He was in the right area there. He tapped home from a short range. Nonetheless, we still sit 0-0 at St James's Park between the two sides. Able to win the day just yet. Of course, we're back in possession of the
Yeah, it was. I mean, he's no stranger to getting forward and getting in the mix, Johnny. He's a bit robust in that sort of respect. He doesn't like to go for technique, a bit more raw power, but yeah, he got into a good support play, Harry. I think he had the right to go for goal.
Breaking through his defence is being played on for advantages. Pulling back at the shirt of Sam Maximan. The referee hasn't gone back to the initial free kick. He believes he played enough advantage for Sam Maximan to do something with the ball at his feet. Good job at pushing them further and further back and not allowing the spaces. In the end, William Bolly is frustrated and goes for a long ball. It's headed down to the feet of Trincao. And unfortunately there is Joe Linton with some great defensive work. Sweep the ball away from the feet of Trincao.
Yeah, again, I still think they'd be the better team, and you can't really deny that with the fact that Wolves have barely done anything, have they? I don't think they've really got into the box. It has been a relatively straightforward performance for Newcastle. I just think the goal would have been the icing on the cake halfway through this first half, but not to be. But can't let it disrupt them. I think, you know, it's the first time I've got to see him in the flesh for a while, and you can see what he brings to the team. He's such a bundle of energy in the middle of the park, and you know, Shelby's got that class with the pass. He's been a great addition as Leeds, and then Raul Jimenez was still suspended for his second yellow card offence against Leeds as well. How much is down to their players not being inside? Yeah, probably quite a bit, to be fair. You know, you look at the influence that he's got up front. A lot of the attack goes through, doesn't it? And that's such a pivotal part of their team. I do think when he doesn't play, they look like a bit of a shadow of the former Silva. The fee they've paid for Silva looks like one of the worst transfers in Premier League history at this current stage. I hope he proves me wrong, I really do. He's only a young player, but I don't know what he does. You look at what other, at least Wang started with a couple of goals, some hard-working performances. I think the deal for Silva is a bit of an oversight in that respect. But yeah, I mean, the suspensions have really hurt him in that respect. But he's built a defensive a defensive base. That's fine. I just think for the summer transfer business, it's important to get a bit more craft in midfield. That's not an issue. He's going to play to his 50s. It's fine. Ruben Neves is 25.
He's very young.
It's outrageous.
Very young player. Yeah, he does look probably, if not same age, if not older than Michel Martinez.
It's as you say. I presumed he'd come into Wolves in the middle of his 20s. And, you just forget, don't you, when he's been here for that long? But no, it turns out he's absolutely at peak Premier League age.
Face up against Willy Bolly, his fellow countryman. In the end, he doesn't manage to beat him there. Losing out to João Martinho. He's landed on his side. Zooming into his teammates with an option. Eventually sprinted out to Fabio Silva. So he's drifting wide to trick out. Towards Cody.
I think for this game to be an exciting watch and an exciting spectacle for those that have managed to get a ticket, it is Newcastle that has to set the pace here. Just the last couple of minutes, Wolves have been dictating it a little bit more. It's going to have to be up to Newcastle to force this one, because if Wolves get a goal, the tie will totally switch, because they'll be so defensively minded anyway. But even more so if that's the case, it's up to Newcastle to get on the ball, force the ante, put the pressure on. They can't allow to just sit there for a couple of minutes dictating possession. But Juarez has been dispossessed. To offer himself as an option to that target, but it just shows how desperate he is to get on the ball. He's had a quiet start to the game. He hasn't really created much. As mentioned earlier, lets others do the creating and finishes off. He hasn't had many chances barring the offside. No, it hasn't, and it's a problem for Newcastle. The creativity with setbacks on the pitch. They need him to get more space, which is where he thrives, just running in the free field. Wolves have not given him any of it, which is never going to come as a surprise. They were always going to try and smother him. He's done a good job so far. 10 minutes to go. He still goals. It was always looking so bright for 23 minutes. No, it isn't. Very needless. Get a replay of the goal. As you say, deserved to be given because the team move they produced. But yeah, just frustrations. But it's the right goal. If I think he was offside across with that boot, then that's fair enough. And I think that is what VAR is there for. But yeah, as you said a few minutes ago, Harry, for the quality of the game, perhaps we needed that goal to be given for Newcastle to push on.
Yeah, St. Maximin, though, very lively in the middle of the park, winning praise so much for his work rate, just his skill and flair on the ball. But he's shown that he work hard in his Newcastle team. So he was really trying to face again, trying to get back on. About by Wolves. First, it seemed like the danger wasn't completely clear. Vital move downfield was enough to win the storm for now. Newcastle still moving forward. That target there taken down by Jordan inside the free kick.
Yeah, he's dived down that target. He's just put his body across and waited for anyone to brush him and throw himself to the floor. But he's on the first. He won't be the last. Good ball from Joe Linton, right across the 6-yard box. That corridor of uncertainty whipped in, desperately asking for a touch, just unfortunately couldn't come.
To roll out, but in the end he turns around and kicks it off the boot of Guimaraes to get the same outcome. It's a goal kick for Wolves.
Yeah, I mean Guimaraes is pretty much sitting alongside Martinho. They're marking each other out of the game as it stands. But yeah, I still Newcastle again from the result they've been on the last few weeks, some humbling results. A draw against a team like Wolves who are pushing for Europe is still a good result considering where they were. But I think after this first half performance, they'll be a little bit let down not to be in the lead. That such is the play they've had.
end-to-end long ball stuff that we're seeing, and eventually Jose Sarr sends the ball long. Out
Yeah, it hasn't been a great advert for the Premier League, has it? Let's put it that way. But yeah, you know, in spells that I certainly thought that the first 20 minutes were steady away. I think Newcastle have started to, not I wouldn't say tire, but they've slowed things down. Maybe didn't want to be exposed as much. And I think Wolves have got a bit more of a grip on the game as well compared to what Newcastle had. As they've won a free kick here, Newcastle, but yeah, Wolves are just trying their best to frustrate them. So far, it's worked pretty well. 4 minutes to continue it. Yeah, it was. Chris Wood was floating in, just couldn't get to it. Flicked on behind him. Yeah, and the confusion reigned for everybody involved. Newcastle knew what was coming, but yeah, it went beyond Chris Wood. He was never going to have the ability to spin his head around and go for goal from there.
Sides in the run into the end of the season. They're competing with the likes of Arsenal, Tottenham, West Ham, Manchester United, looking to grab that illustrious fourth spot.
Good, incredible ball from John Joe Shelby around the side of the defence. It was a peach and just beautiful power, direction, everything. Now we're on again. Yeah, very tough because he's not right-footed. That the early cross to Chris Wood was on, but he's left-footed, so he couldn't do it. I say he couldn't do it, just refused. And then once he turned inside, that's where Wolves are so good. They give absolutely nothing away. I know they've had a goal disallowed tonight, Newcastle, but that was a double deflection off Wolves players that got them in. They're so hard to break down at times, and tonight's proven to be no different. Yeah, it will, and I think it's been coming as this attack finally. We've been waiting for it. It's taken 45 minutes for them to finally produce something. That's better from Silva. Got himself into the box as well to try and help out. Johnny tried to return the favour. Dan Burns' header is the one that gets it away. But yeah, I mean, Fabio Silva would have been the architect there if that had gone to plan.
He created the move, and it seemed like he had been sharp beaten there at the front post. Clever run.
Yeah, they just have to cancel each other out, haven't they? In good sections of the pitch, in large parts of it, it's all the same. Each team cancelling each other out, and it's been frustrating for both managers. Tactically, it's going to be very interesting what happens at the break, Harrow, because you'd like to think both will improve once they've done some restrictions.
Especially the situation both sides are in. The draw wouldn't really suit either in the best of respects, although they'd take it, but both sides want to come here and win. He lies there for a foul just on the edge of the box in a dangerous area. We know Newcastle have some set-piece specialists on their side. Can hit one from here as well. Just a trip there, he tries to go into the Wolves area. Fabian Schär is really dancing running towards the Wolves half. Puts the ball up in an unfamiliar area on the edge of the box. But we know he also likes to hit a free kick, Fabian Schär, so they've got a couple of options.
No, they have. I mean, my team was actually falling over rather than a lunging challenge. And we've got one of the best teams at scoring set pieces and one of the best teams at not conceding from set pieces. So who's going to break first? Time at St James's Park, Newcastle 0, Wolves 0 between the two teams in this Friday night action. Newcastle got a goal ruled out for offside. Great team move, Bruno Guimaraes into the feet of Miguel Almiron, who backheel it back to Guimaraes. His crossfield pass found Chris Wood, who fired home. Replay showed that Guimaraes had stepped offside though. Wolves have offered very little going forward. Newcastle have been the better team. They lost Brian Fraser to a hamstring injury though inside the first 15 minutes, and they're trying their best to get on top and get the first goal, but it is still goalless at half-time. At St James's Park, Newcastle 0, Wolves 0 between the two teams in this Friday night action. Newcastle got a goal ruled out for offside. Great team move, Bruno Guimaraes into the feet of Miguel Almiron, who backheel it back to Guimaraes. His crossfield pass found Chris Wood, who fired home. Replay showed that Guimaraes had stepped offside though. Wolves have offered very little going forward. Newcastle have been the better team. They lost Brian Fraser to a hamstring injury though inside the first 15 minutes, and they're trying their best to get on top and get the first goal, but it's still goalless at half-time. St James's Park, Newcastle 0, Wolves 0 between the two teams in this Friday night action. Newcastle got a goal ruled out for offside. Great team move, Bruno Guimaraes into the feet of crossfield pass found Chris Ward, who fired home. Replay showed that Guimaraes had stepped offside though. Wolves have offered very little going forward. Newcastle being the better team. They lost Ryan Fraser to a hamstring injury though inside the first 15 minutes, and they're trying their best to get on top and get the first goal, but it's still goalless at half-time. Time at St James's Park, Newcastle 0, Wolves 0 between the two teams in this Friday night action. Newcastle had a goal rolled out for offside. Great team move from Guimaraes into the feet of Miguel Almiron, who backheeled it back to Guimaraes. His crossfield pass found Chris Ward, who fired home. Replay showed that Guimaraes had stepped offside though. Wolves have offered very little going forward. Newcastle being the better team. They lost Ryan Fraser to a hamstring injury though inside the first 15 minutes, and they're trying their best to get on top and get the first goal. It's still goalless at half-time. At St James's Park, Newcastle 0, Wolves 0 between the two teams in this Friday night action. Newcastle had a goal rolled out for offside. Great team move from Guimaraes into the feet of Miguel Almiron, who backheeled it back to Guimaraes. His crossfield pass found Chris Ward, who fired home. Replay showed that Guimaraes had stepped offside though. Wolves have offered very little going forward. Newcastle being the better team. They lost Ryan Fraser to a hamstring injury though inside the first 15 minutes, and they're trying their best to get on top and get the first goal. It's still goalless at half-time. At St James's Park, Newcastle 0, Wolves 0 between the two teams in this Friday night action. Newcastle had a goal rolled out for offside. Great team move from Guimaraes into the feet of Miguel Almiron, who backheeled it back to Guimaraes. His crossfield pass found Chris Ward, who fired home. Replay showed that Guimaraes had stepped offside though. Wolves have offered very little going forward. Newcastle being the better team. They lost Ryan Fraser to a hamstring injury though inside the first 15 minutes, and they're trying their best to get on top and get the first goal. It's still goalless at half-time. At St James's Park, Newcastle 0, Wolves 0 between the two teams in this Friday night action. Newcastle had a goal rolled out for offside. Great team move from Guimaraes into the feet of Miguel Almiron, who backheeled it back to Guimaraes. His crossfield pass found Chris Ward, who fired home. Replay showed that Guimaraes had stepped offside though. Wolves have offered very little going forward. Newcastle being the better team. They lost Ryan Fraser to a hamstring injury though inside the first 15 minutes, and they're trying their best to get on top and get the first goal. It's still goalless at half-time. Time at St James's Park, Newcastle 0, Wolves 0 between the two teams in this Friday night action. Newcastle had a goal rolled out for offside. Great team move, Bruno Guimaraes into the feet of Miguel Almiron, who backheeled it back to Guimaraes. His crossfield pass found Chris Ward, who fired home. Replay showed that Guimaraes had stepped offside though. Wolves have offered very little going forward. Newcastle being the better team. They lost Ryan Fraser to a hamstring injury though inside the first 15 minutes, and they're trying their best to get on top and get the first goal. It's still goalless at half-time. At St James's Park, Newcastle 0, Wolves 0 between the two teams in this Friday night action. Newcastle had a goal rolled out for offside. Great team move from Guimaraes into the feet of Miguel Almiron, who backheeled it back to Guimaraes. His crossfield pass found Chris Ward, who fired home. Replay showed that Guimaraes had stepped offside though. Wolves have offered very little going forward. Newcastle being the better team. They lost Ryan Fraser to a hamstring injury though inside the first 15 minutes, and they're trying their best to get on top and get the first goal. It's still goalless at half-time. St James's Park, Newcastle 0, Wolves 0 between the two teams in this Friday night action. Newcastle had a goal rolled out for offside. Great team move from Guimaraes into the feet of Miguel Almiron, who backheeled it back to Guimaraes. His crossfield pass found Chris Ward, who fired home. Replay showed that Guimaraes had stepped offside though. Wolves have offered very little going forward. Newcastle being the better team. They lost Ryan Fraser to a hamstring injury though inside the first 15 minutes, and they're trying their best to get on top and get the first goal. It's still goalless at half-time. At St James's Park, Newcastle 0, Wolves 0 between the two teams in this Friday night action. Newcastle had a goal rolled out for offside. Great team move from Guimaraes into the feet of Miguel Almiron, who backheeled it back to Guimaraes. His crossfield pass found Chris Ward, who fired home. Replay showed that Guimaraes had stepped offside though. Wolves have offered very little going forward. Newcastle being the better team. They lost Ryan Fraser to a hamstring injury though inside the first 15 minutes, and they're trying their best to get on top and get the first goal. It's still goalless at half-time. At St James's Park, Newcastle 0, Wolves 0 between the two teams in this Friday night action. Newcastle had a goal rolled out for offside. Great team move from Guimaraes into the feet of Miguel Almiron, who backheeled it back to Guimaraes. His crossfield pass found Chris Ward, who fired home. Replay showed that Guimaraes had stepped offside though. Wolves have offered very little going forward. Newcastle being the better team. They lost Ryan Fraser to a hamstring injury though inside the first 15 minutes, and they're trying their best to get on top and get the first goal, but it's still goalless at half-time. At St James's Park, Newcastle 0, Wolves 0 between the two teams in this Friday night action. Newcastle had a goal rolled out for offside. Great team move, Bruno Guimaraes into the feet of Miguel Almiron, who backheeled it back to Guimaraes. His crossfield pass found Chris Ward, who fired home. Replay showed that Guimaraes had stepped offside though. Wolves have offered very little going forward. Newcastle being the better team. They lost Ryan Fraser to a hamstring injury though inside the Guimaraes. His crossfield pass found Chris Ward, who fired home. Replay showed that Guimaraes had stepped offside, though. Wolves have offered very little going forward. Newcastle being the better team. They lost Ryan Fraser to a hamstring injury, though, inside the first 15 minutes. They tried their best to get on top and get the first goal. He's still goalless at half-time. Time at St James's Park, Newcastle 0, Wolves 0 between the two teams in this Friday night action. Newcastle had a goal ruled out for offside. Great team move. Bruno Guimaraes into the feet of Miguel Almiron and back to Guimaraes. His crossfield pass found Chris Ward, who fired home. Replay showed that Guimaraes had stepped offside, though. Wolves have offered very little going forward. Newcastle being the better team. They lost Ryan Fraser to a hamstring injury, though, inside the first 15 minutes. And they tried their best to get on top and get the first goal, but he's still goalless at half-time. Time at St James's Park, Newcastle 0, Wolves 0 between the two teams in this Friday night action. Newcastle had a goal ruled out for offside. Great team move. Bruno Guimaraes into the feet of Miguel Almiron and back to Guimaraes. His crossfield pass found Chris Ward, who fired home. Replay showed that Guimaraes stepped offside, though. Wolves have offered very little going forward. Newcastle being the better team. They lost Ryan Fraser to a hamstring injury, though, inside the first 15 minutes. And they're trying their best to get on top and get the first goal, but he's still goalless at half-time. Time at St James's Park, Newcastle 0, Wolves 0 between the two teams in this Friday night action. Newcastle had a goal ruled out for offside. Great team move. Bruno Guimaraes into the feet of Miguel Almiron and back to Guimaraes. His crossfield pass found Chris Ward, who fired home. Replay showed that Guimaraes stepped offside, though. Wolves have offered very little going forward. Newcastle being the better team. They lost Ryan Fraser to a hamstring injury, though, inside the first 15 minutes. And they're trying their best to get on top and get the first goal, but he's still goalless at half-time. Time at St James's Park, Newcastle 0, Wolves 0 between the two teams in this Friday night action. Newcastle had a goal ruled out for offside. Great team move. Bruno Guimaraes into the feet of Miguel Almiron and back to Guimaraes. His crossfield pass found Chris Ward, who fired home. Replay showed that Guimaraes had stepped offside, though. Wolves have offered very little going forward. Newcastle being the better team. They lost Ryan Fraser to a hamstring injury, though, inside the first 15 minutes. And they're trying their best to get on top and get the first goal. He's still goalless at half-time. Time at St James's Park, Newcastle 0, Wolves 0 between the two teams in this Friday night action. Newcastle had a goal ruled out for offside. Great team move. Bruno Guimaraes into the feet of Miguel Almiron and back to Guimaraes. His crossfield pass found Chris Ward, who fired home. Replay showed that Guimaraes stepped offside, though. Wolves have offered very little going forward. Newcastle being the better team. They lost Ryan Fraser to a hamstring injury, though, inside the first 15 minutes. And they're trying their best to get on top and get the first goal, but he's still goalless at half-time. Time at St James's Park, Newcastle 0, Wolves 0 between the two teams in this Friday night action. Newcastle had a goal ruled out for offside. Great team move. Bruno Guimaraes into the feet of Miguel Almiron and back to Guimaraes. His crossfield pass found Chris Ward, who fired home. Replay showed that Guimaraes had stepped offside, though. Wolves have offered very little going forward. Newcastle being the better team. They lost Ryan Fraser to a hamstring injury, though, inside the first 15 minutes. And they're trying their best to get on top and get the first goal, but he's still goalless at half-time. Time at St James's Park, Newcastle 0, Wolves 0 between the two teams in this Friday night action. Newcastle had a goal ruled out for offside. Great team move. Bruno Guimaraes into the feet of Miguel Almiron and back to Guimaraes. His crossfield pass found Chris Ward, who fired home. Replay showed that Guimaraes had stepped offside, though. Wolves have offered very little going forward. Newcastle being the better team. They lost Ryan Fraser to a hamstring injury, though, inside the first 15 minutes. And they're trying their best to get on top and get the first goal, but he's still goalless at half-time. Time at St James's Park, Newcastle 0, Wolves 0 between the two teams in this Friday night action. Newcastle had a goal ruled out for offside. Great team move. Bruno Guimaraes into the feet of Miguel Almiron and back to Guimaraes. His crossfield pass found Chris Ward, who fired home. Replay showed that Guimaraes had stepped offside, though. Wolves have offered very little going forward. Newcastle being the better team. They lost Ryan Fraser to a hamstring injury, though, inside the first 15 minutes. And they're trying their best to get on top and get the first goal, but he's still goalless at half-time. Time at St James's Park, Newcastle 0, Wolves 0 between the two teams in this Friday night action. Newcastle had a goal ruled out for offside. Great team move. Bruno Guimaraes into the feet of Miguel Almiron and back to Guimaraes. His crossfield pass found Chris Ward, who fired home. Replay showed that Guimaraes stepped offside, though. Wolves have offered very little going forward. Newcastle being the better team. They lost Ryan Fraser to a hamstring injury, though, inside the first 15 minutes. And they're trying their best to get on top and get the first goal, but it's still goalless at half-time. Time at St James's Park, Newcastle 0, Wolves 0 between the two teams in this Friday night action. Newcastle had a goal ruled out for offside. Great team move. Bruno Guimaraes into the feet of Miguel Almiron and back to Guimaraes. His crossfield pass found Chris Ward, who fired home. Replay showed that Guimaraes had stepped offside, though. Wolves have offered very little going forward. Newcastle being the better team. They lost Ryan Fraser to a hamstring injury, though, side against Bruno Gomares. Chris Wood tapped in. Newcastle with Dubravka. Johnny, Kundal, Martinho, Marcal, Trinkout, Silva, and Huang. Myself, Tom Hill, and Harry Jones bringing you all the action this evening on this Friday night. And it is Newcastle that were setting the better of the tempo. Newcastle, the better team. Wolves' superior defensive quality stood the test in the first half. As here is Kraft from St Maximin. St Maximin comes again, he floats it to the far post. It's headed clear by Cody, and it bounces out of play, and it's out for a throw-in. Harry, your thoughts on this second half?
Well, yeah, I just wanted to see a little bit more of the game opening up. I think it's been very cagey, very tight, very compact, both sides. Just enjoying a little bit of possession here and there, but there's no real intent winning possession. I think Newcastle ball, so obviously they've had a chance. I think they've set up in a good way to try and break down this solid, sort of disciplined defensive setup. I just think Newcastle, they need the quality to just open it up. They've got the right idea, and sometimes get into good areas to do so, but I think they lack that eventual quality.
Towards the right-hand side from Newcastle, quick ball into the far post with good hands from Herdisar. He's pointing down the field at the instructions for the rest of his team. And it is Emil Kraft that's getting a run in the side of Javier Manquillo, dropping out for him. But it is going to be a testing 10 minutes for Wolves. They've got to do more on the ball. They've got to be more expansive and attacking, as it is with Huang. Gets it to Martinho. Martinho whips the ball wide, but intercepted. Eventually they get it back by the deflection, and Wolves go again with Kundal, who's only on his second start for Wolves, or even in his career as well. As we see the ball back with Kundal, he rolls it left towards Martinho. Martinho will float it out towards the left here for Marcal. Marcal's going to look down the inside and turn past Kraft, and Almiron wins a free kick. He's tripped from behind. Joe Linton in midfield, and Joe Linton signed, and the drama that came with it. There's no words from Steve Bruce. If you'd have fast forwarded a year or two to find out he plays centre midfield, as St Maximin has now just gone without the ball, and the Wolves player stood still and just took it from him. As here now is Juan, runs into Kraft. Juan flicks it back inside. Martinho's charging forward. It's rolled out by Kundal. Kundal gets hold of possession, and it is now into Trincao. Trincao steps away. Better from Wolves, but more incisive to Marcal, who tries to bring it under control. Marcal whips his cross across the face. It's deflected behind for a Wolves corner.
It's the first Wolves corner we've seen of the match. It's the first time really we've seen them break into the area and try and deliver it into the box. Saw it late on in the first half. Trincao getting tricky on the right-hand side. This is new territory.
Marcal swings the ball in, takes a deflection off the legs of Sharp, and it is another Wolves throw. Marcal just telling everybody to calm down for the time being. Cody making his way back to centre half. Trincao and Juan, the two closest players in Wolves colours for Marcal. Silva coming across as well. Martinho towards Silva. Silva turns, runs into trouble, gives the ball away, and gets it to Gomares back, and it's back out towards Marcal. Kilman puts his foot down, drives forward, but stopped by the pressurising from Almiron, so still goalless. Newcastle 0, Wolves 0. The volley goes into Kundal. Kundal rolls it sideways to Martinho, just about gets it away. Kilman again coming through the defence, but lays it off to the left to Marcal. Marcal carrying it forward. Marcal continuing to come forward, slots it inside. It's just going to be back from Shelby. Shelby gets it clear, and now it is with Joe Linton, who goes back into Kraft. I think the tempo is very similar to what we had in the first half. It then died down. It's got to be like this for the rest of the game.